Well, what's up, guys? Welcome to Locked On Logic. I am your host, Matt Kane.
And I'm your host, Charles Cannon, and this is where sports meets the culture. And today, as you can see, we have our very first guest host, Jordan Patrick.
Good, I'm Jordan.
Yes, sir. So today we got NBA recap. Those are wild first weeks.
Yup.
First week, I should say. Little scandals. So what's your hot takes, bro? I'll let y'all start it off.
Um, Jordan, go first.
Yeah, let the guest host go.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know if it's a hot take to say that the Lakers is gonna have a rough season. Austin Reeves is doing great for me. All love, all respect to the boy. I just think that the rest of the team is gonna be a little iffy. I feel like we just have to worry about next year.
The Lakers. I don't even know where to start with the Lakers. Lakers, sciatica. I don't know, bro. I personally don't know what the Lakers are doing. So what? Austin Reeves going off. I feel like he's gonna leave because he took 2 pay cuts. He's about to be out. So
Like, I definitely see what you mean because, we've had guys, when the star players go out, they perform like crazy. Like when Reggie Jackson back in 2012, 2013, Russ was out. He was
yeah,
starting point guard for a little bit, and as you saw, he went off. He went off a couple games, and then when Russ came back and it came time for his contract, he was like, "Nah, I want more."
exactly.
And you saw how that went. They had to, dip, dip him, like not mess with him no more. And then it's just showing that the Lakers they need Luka like
Nah,
this
for sure, for
because
sure.
you put up what 40, 45 the first
Yeah, he
game,
put
49 the
45.
second game, and in both
That's
triple
crazy.
doubles or both near triple doubles, and it's like all right, now we know he can perform, we know he's healthy, we know he can we're gonna beat Luka. It's an MVP type season in my
Nah,
opinion,
facts.
probably first or second right now because it's between him and Wemby, and
He don't got
we
a team around him though. Like
he
Luca ain't got nobody around him right now. Even DeAndre Ayton is trash.
Nah, DeAndre is trash.
Honestly, what I think more is probably the biggest thing that I'm more, I won't even really say concerned about, but my eyes with Reeves is more what are you going to do in the playoffs? Is this a consistent thing? Because even with last year against the Wolves, that looked bad.
That was bad, bro.
That looked bad because I ain't gonna lie. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had the Anthony Edwards matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah, he had a bottle and almost looked like he was trying to do too much in certain instances. So I don't know if it's gonna be like a consistent thing. Because for me, he was so flashes last year when they played the Pacers,
Yeah.
and then for me, he popped off and all that. I think also DeAndre Ayton, like he had that good stat line the other day. I don't think that's real.
No, probably not. Because the thing, to just go back to Austin Reeves, like as you were saying, he put up he had a good game. Don't worry, don't no one's gonna say he had a bad game or this is just like his Jeremy Lin moment or whatever. It's just like
Nah, he has
you
good
put up
games
good
before.
stats against teams that aren't any of the best defensive. Like, are you gonna do this against the Spurs? Are you gonna do this against the Thunder? Are you gonna do this against a team like the Bucks or the Knicks? You're gonna have to be consistent because it's like if this is just for a week or two, and then when Luca come back, he expected you not put a 50, but at least put up 20, 25, and you're not doing that. It's like now Luca's really
Yeah.
all by himself because now it's like without Luca and without Bron, we're trying to see what the team can do. And it's looking like, him, Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, they can step up when they can, but it's like it's not consistent. And it's like the consistency in this league is key because
Mm-hmm.
especially with a guy like Luca, he needs to win now, and
Yeah.
they need to figure out what they need to do with him now. Like JJ Redick, so far he seems like a good coach, but it's like, but it's like, what is his plan now that he can see that his team what now you can see what his team's doing without his star players. It's like, what is the plan now? Like, what pieces get moved? What pieces are staying? And it's like, it's really like a contract. It's really like a play for your spot kind of year with
Basically.
this team.
Yeah, nah, for real.
I think one of the biggest things with this team is like genuinely, I feel like it's LeBron, and it's not even about his play. It's more about one, the money he's taking, his age. It's like, all right, we owe you all this money. If you want to come back and play another year, okay, cool. You got to take a pay cut for us to bring in help. They maximize the amount of help that they can put around this roster. And honestly, I think generally if LeBron stays, you can't also keep Austin Reeves. You won't have enough money for both.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I feel like depending on what Braun does and if he takes a pay cut in the numbers matchup, it's the trio is basically gonna be done.
Yeah, I think Braun need to if he do come back or whenever he retire, he need to take a back seat. Like not saying like go don't go off or whatever, like be Braun, but he need to take a back seat and really just lead the team, bro. Because we know he could be a good leader, but him 25 averaging 25, like that's great, but we he gotta understand like it's Luca's team now. Like you gotta guide that next generation basically.
I think his role last year was perfect. I ain't gonna lie. Like
Really?
last year, the way how they, yeah, especially when they were playing together, the way how they was playing, I think it was perfect. Just cause like it was like basically Luca running the team, Braun being a lot more off ball focused. And I like that for him. I like Braun being that like second and third playmaker that can kind of make
Yeah.
stuff happen when needed, and also just mainly being a play finisher. Because at that point his buckets came easy. He ain't had to work like that. I think that's a perfect role for him. But yeah, I think with this team though, I think they really just need a lot more. They need more defenders. I ain't gonna lie.
They do.
I kind of took it as a joke when what's his name when the GM was like, oh yeah, Rob Palenka. He's like, oh, we got some good what's it called? Got some good additions over the summer. Got some good defensive wings. We got Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia. Yeah, nah, you're good.
He's a different character himself. So
In my opinion, Marcus Smart ain't really been the same defensively since he like left Memphis. Really, like hell, even Boston.
yeah, they kind of did him dirty. Not did him dirty in Boston, but Boston, I you could tell like when a player declines, like what Marcus Smart did, you could kind of tell like he wanted to play for Boston and he embodied the culture that they built. So when they traded him, it was just like dang, like see, I feel like he kind of lost like what he really needs to do in basketball. But realistically though, like where y'all think the Lakers is landing in the West?
I would say genuinely they probably gonna end up in a plan only because everybody else
Yeah.
got better. Yeah, so I'll probably see them around at like seven. Yeah, that's seven spot. I think everybody else got a lot better. Everybody else is gonna be more consistent, and I think that this month without LeBron is gonna hurt and help them. I think it's gonna help the fact that everybody's gonna find a role. They'll get more development in those things, but I think it's gonna hurt their record for the meantime. I don't think you can consistently hope that Austin Reeves is gonna average 35 points for an entire month. If he does, yeah, that's gonna hurt you too because you can't afford it.
I think we said that in one of the other episodes where we was just like, we ain't nobody worrying about the Lakers. Like I think we picked them to be in the play in too.
Yeah, we yeah.
Yeah, so that's I don't know what the Lakers are doing in the stack West is like you just gotta watch and see. But everybody else in the West, like you said, got better. The Spurs, Dallas. Oh my
Can we talk about the
goodness.
Spurs, man?
The
Can we talk
Spurs.
about Wemby and them guys? Like
Mhm.
what I saw these past 3, 4 games
Mhm.
now, they they gonna be ready to win like next year,
Nah, for
year
real.
after. Because what we're seeing from Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, they're playing very comfortable with Wemby. They realize like, listen, I got a 7'5" center that can handle the rock like a guard, shoot like he KD, but also play in the post like he Kevin Garnett. It's
Hmm.
like they got so much stress off them like offensively. Now they can figure out what shots work for them. Like Dylan Harper, he realized, oh, I can play make better now. That I got Stephon, I got Harrison Barnes, I got Wemby, and now I'm not sure if y'all saw, but like his shots now, he knows where his shots are. It's a three. He can get to the mid. He can go to the rack. Because people, when you have guys like Wemby playing at the three and knowing he can shoot, teams are gonna be so focused on him. Dylan Harper realized like, oh, where I can cut through the back,
Yeah.
and then Stephon Castle, he's looking even better compared to
Nah,
his
yeah,
rookie
I like
year.
that.
The
I like the role
improvement
they
is
got
really
him in.
good. He's playing similar, I would say, to actually I'm not gonna make comparisons because it's kind of hard right now since he just started, but he's comfortable. He's happy. He's getting better with what he what he was like was good at last year, and now he's improving off of his strengths. He's also gonna use this year to strengthen his weaknesses, and playing with Wemby can help him do that because now with Wemby he don't gotta. had a ball in his hands all the time.
Nah, fact.
And we all Wemby's putting up great numbers.
He,
He
bro.
honestly,
He an alien, bro. He an
he
alien.
really is an
He
alien.
an
The way
alien.
this season looking, I need 50, 60 points at least.
Exactly.
Not average, but like career high at least, because he he spent this summer getting his mind right, getting his body right, and to be as locked in as a guy his size, he knows he doesn't have long of a prime or like of a career, at best
Yeah.
probably 13, 15 years, and
Maybe.
he wants to win, and he's showing that he wants to win. He's unselfish, but when it's time for him to lock in, they ain't give him the ball. He's that guy,
Nah, for real.
and you don't get a lot of third year players with that mentality, and it's like I'm ready to see what they can do this year, especially like with De'Aaron Fox being out, and he already knows his role. He's gonna play. He's gonna come back not feeling pressure to score. Just all he has to do is play a little bit of defense, do him, because he didn't have that in Sacramento. You had all that pressure on you. Now that you're playing with three young guys who know what to do, it's like you all
Nah,
set.
facts.
Thing. What I think is probably the most impressive about Wemby is just like the way how quick he can develop, just like that on the fly. Um, like we seen how his off season went and the developments he made, but I think also as far as I think the way how he carries himself, the way how um, everybody says he's real locked in. For me, he's big into reading. He's big on focus on the little things. He does a lot of flexibility training. He's doing stuff that guys his size are doing, and just seeing how quick that he's developing month after month. I ain't gonna lie, easy. And it was crazy to even think like last year, like, oh, this dude's already top 10,
Exactly.
and then now he's already basically top 5. At this point, you give him another like 2 years. That's the best guy in the league. No, what? At that point, it's almost like a mix of like Giannis defensively and then Jokic offensively. So, all right, what do you? This is a whole different type of category he even gets now.
I would say I do want to point out though, like the Spurs built a good team outside, like besides Wemby, like they drafted well because Stephon Castle played defense, Vassell, like Dylan Harper, they and I like the role they have Castle in because it's similar to what he was doing at UConn, what Dan Hurley had him in. It had him in that 2 spot, but like he does everything. He grabs rebounds, he's scrappy, he could bring the ball up, he cuts, backdoor, all that. So that's really why I feel like they're doing good because the team around him, like you said, is so good, bro. They drafted great basketball players, bro, and that's what we don't see nowadays. We do not see people build from the draft outside of like OKC or something like that. So yeah, they what they doing over there is crazy. I was
The hardest thing with that is like you don't find a lot of smart young players,
exactly
or at least
mature.
yeah, young players that are put in the correct roles and the correct systems. Because then at that point, it's like, oh, I want this guy to be my scorer.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really that good at scoring. Well, I guess we're going to send him to the G League, let him kind of figure it out there, or we'll kind of put them away in the G League for probably too long.
Mm-hmm.
And then now this guy don't really know how to play NBA level basketball. He just knows how to be a scorer. One thing for me is like with Payne Pritchard. Payne Pritchard is great as a 6 man. He's not that good as a starting point guard.
That's what I was saying.
Because he's just used to putting the ball in the hoop, and that's it. He don't really got to run. He don't really got to run the offense like that. It's okay. I'm gonna go get buckets on the second unit. That's it. Now we see him having his struggles. I think he'll be better by the end of this. But you kind of see the growing pains of it of keeping guys in these roles that for too long. They're trying to expand them too soon.
Facts. You definitely could see that around the league too. There's like I could name a bunch of guys like that, but going on what you said with Pritchard, I feel like I don't know why they Joe Mazzulla was having Anthony Simons coming off the bench because he knows how to be the starting point guard because that's what he was doing in Portland. So I feel like Simon should start, do what he do because the team's not that good, and then Pritchard still be a 6 man. So I don't know what they really doing up there in Boston, but
And then I saw the struggles through the first 4 games for Boston. It's like when Jalen not hitting, y'all basically already done lost the game because it's like you're putting dudes in roles that they're not used to playing, and it's like the point of this year was to see what Jalen can do and how he can get everybody in their roles comfortably. And it's like, what the
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, respectfully, this is for any Boston fan or any person in general that thought Jalen Brown was about to thrive like this. This is why me
I thought
personally,
he was.
me
I
personally,
ain't even a fan.
I've been knew that Jason Tatum was better than him. And it's just,
Yeah, of course.
and even as far as running the team, I thought that Jason Tatum was better simply off of a passing playmaking perspective to where he can make those reads. If Jason Tatum shot ain't on, the offense still ain't over with. Stuff can still move around. He can make those reads.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brown's not capable of doing that. He's just not there. And you know, it's okay. You were two for a reason. It's okay. Your mindset just on scoring. So I hope he improves, and that should be the goal by the end of this. But I know he was gonna struggle.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's because for a period there, it was them two. Like we thought as fans was like, oh, they both number ones. So I think it's just because the way they playing up in Boston, like their games decreased, which is weird to say because when they were both rookies and second years, they both could have been number ones. And then even when they both was like all stars and stuff like that, they was still like people were saying they're number ones playing together. So for him to like struggle like this, it's like crazy to me because one, you're getting paid so much money. Like they're paying 300 mil, whatever. That is number one option type money. So like I said in another video, like Scotty, when Jordan left the Bulls, Scottie Pippen still took him to the playoffs, second round, game 7. So I feel like the expectations need to be higher on Jalen Brown. We can't look at it like, oh, we everybody knew Tatum was better, but it's like, yeah, maybe, but they both number one options, getting paid number one option money.
I think the signs that he was gonna be like this was sprinkled all through the
It was.
playoffs.
It was. I will say that. I
Last
will
year,
say that.
the year before, and the year before that.
He can't go black.
I ain't gonna lie, that handle looking real iffy, that passing looking real iffy once they started to really double you.
I
I
did,
think at that
I
point,
did notice
that
that.
was a clear sign. You kind of got to work on that. They made a lot of you can't go left jokes. You kind of got to work on that. And now, all we're gonna do is send you like I think, especially with that money talk, especially around the league, because now at that point, oh, we know. Oh, so they think you worth this much? Okay,
Exactly.
we gonna scheme for you.
Exactly.
We gonna scheme for you as a number one. Can you handle that? And I think that's a big jump. A lot of people can't take, and that's what I think. I'm kind of nervous for even Austin Reeves going back to that. Now that we scheme for you like a number one option, oh, you make an extra 20 mil now.
Exactly.
You say that.
Think about it, like if you could stop Jalen Brown, like in this season, if you have good stops on Jalen Brown, you getting paid in the offseason, especially if it's contract year. Because if you send him left and block his shot, bro, you looking like an all defensive team. Because that's what the Knicks was doing.
And then like it has me sitting here. I'm not sure about y'all, but it has me sitting here thinking like, what were you working on during this offseason? Like Tatum been out since what, late June, early June. It's like you telling me I got eliminated from the playoffs, and your trainers was like, all right, you need to work on that left more. We need to work on your playmaking more. No one was telling you to do this. It's like, what were you doing all offseason? Like, it's like I understand, you want to enjoy your summer, but at the same time, you knew what the pressure was coming into this season, and you knew what you needed to do, and it looked like you worked on none of that, and that's a shame because it's like, bro, like you said, he's getting paid number one option money, and like you said, teams are going to scheme for that because it's like, bro, you get paid number one, you get paid like a number one. We're going to defend you like you're a number one. We're not going to defend you like you're a two no more because like clearly your best player is out, and you have the keys to the castle now. It's like what were you expecting to
You know what's
happen this
crazy?
offseason?
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. They are so nonchalant, lackadaisical up in Boston, bro. I don't know what it is up there, but they are not doing anything right. Personally, they like Brown. I feel like he got his ring. He got the Finals MVP. He just chilling. I'm not gonna lie, because personally, I don't know.
You look at that rest of that roster. I don't know what. Me personally, you just look at the rest of that roster. I feel like there's nothing else that you really could do in the moment. And I feel like that's what everybody else kind of looks like. It's like, oh, we will just figure it out. Yeah, I feel like you just, figure this out. Because for me, last year, them blowing them blowing it up, getting rid of Drew and Porzingis, you kind of had to do that. Um, this rest of this team, I feel like this year just kind of shows how important Jason Tatum is, and also how important they need a center. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
You gotta put the over on anybody that pull up to Boston with their center. It's over with.
Exactly. I do want to say that rookie they drafted, Hugo Gonzalez, he was going off in that game against New York. So that I guess they drafted good with him. But they still got Jordan Walsh and all these other guys in the G League that they drafted. So I don't know what they doing with them. So they want to do a young resurgence, bring all the young guys up. I don't know what they doing. So
'Cause, man, it's gonna be a rough year for Boston, man. Like, what they just won their first game yesterday, right?
yeah, yesterday.
Like, it's gonna be a rough season for them, but it's like we all expected this, and now it's like, what can we do to learn from this? It's like Tatum, he trying to come back by March, which personally I don't think he should
Now
do,
he needs to
but
take his time.
but it's like, all right, if he don't come back at all, y'all need to take this whole season as, all right, what can we do to get Jalen being better, to get the younger guys being better? What young guys, like you said, need to come up from the G League that
Hmm.
could contribute? And it's like, Jalen, you need to spend the next 82 games working on that left, working on how, like, all right, if you're not that good at playmaking, boom, bring in Anthony Simons as a starter and like try to learn off of him. Like, all right, what can I do to help him? Like, he know how to play make a little. Let me use him in practice
Yeah,
and see what he's seeing that I'm not seeing. Or like, if he needs me to do this off ball, I'll do this. It's like, come on. It's like, you're that guy right now for us, and we need you to act like and play like that guy. We need you to be in practice, learning from everybody. Because if you're not learning, you're just gonna be subpar all year. And it's like, we don't Boston, they hate subpar. Like, you saw after the '08 championship and after they blew it up with KG and Paul Pierce, they were subpar up until they got Kyrie,
yeah,
Tatum, and
yeah.
Brown.
Every year they had KG and Pierce, they was competing for a chip. So that's the big thing in Boston. It's like, which it frustrates me because it's like you gave all these guys money for the future basically, and then after one series loss, you got to blow it up. So that's what it was like crazy to me.
I ain't blame him though, cause I ain't gonna lie. Like seeing for Drew Holiday how his jump shot kind of fell off the face of the planet. Where it's like, oh, he can shoot a corner three once in a while, and we gave Porzingis all this money because we thought he was gonna play more. I can't blame him for wanting to blow it up, especially for that Porzingis contract. Yeah, I'd get rid of that
Yeah,
too.
I'll give rid of Porzingis, but it's like everybody you gave, and that brings me to my other statement. It's like, well, don't you should have never gave them $100 million. Like they gave them $100 million extensions. If you want to extend them, give them like a little money here and there, but all your whole starting five making basically 100 million.
Yeah, because what it was worth almost 800
Yeah,
mil.
yeah, you
I
had
mean,
two $300 million contracts, and then everybody else was literally 100 million, 100 million, 100 million.
I don't blame him for doing that. Like being fresh off the chip, like oh, we're units together. No one's stopping us. So I could see where they kind of going with that, and even what's his name? It's funny, ain't mentioned Derek White too. Like Derek White getting moved up the spot. Derek White kind of struggling a little bit because it's like he's used to being the third guy, getting the third best defender on him, and being able to make reads off of the gravity of Tatum and Brown. Him as your second guy don't really work like that. He's kind of
That's facts.
he can create. I mean, second best defender consistently. I don't see Derek White doing that night by night. So honestly, I think with this team, once Tatum comes back, we're gonna be able to see them kind of at 100%. Um, hopefully they make that move and throw in Anthony Simons as a starter. Me personally, I thought he was gonna be a starter going into the year just for like you said his experience on the doing it over in Portland. I just hope that Anthony's consistent. That's my biggest thing with him is he's not that consistent to where even in Portland 20-point game here, 20-point game here.
Exactly.
5 points here. What is you doing? What you doing? Like you supposed to be one of the better shooters in the league, but then it's Tyler. What are you doing? Yeah, the system was kind of messed up having him in school, who running this, who running that. But in Boston, I feel like if they allow him to play his game, he could definitely thrive over there.
Not even on the Hawks.
He ain't even
He
never
just,
move
he just know
fast.
how to slide his feet.
Exactly.
That's what you can see on the
That's
Warriors. I ain't gonna
basketball
lie.
101, bro. That's all he do.
Nah, the Warriors. I didn't think he was gonna work out that good. The Warriors, I'm actually a bigger fan of them than I was going into the offseason now.
I
With his team, for me personally, the biggest X factor is just Kaminga and how he kind of fits in with his team because he's been playing very good to start off the year, and I feel like he's finally cooking for him. Um, how do I best maximize my role in this team? How do I take advantage of the things that are going on? You see him more clicking with Steph as far as being able to screen set for him, make reads off of with Draymond, and even meshing well with Jimmy. I like that because with him, yeah, honestly, like earlier, that money talk. Now that he's getting more, then it's like, okay, Steve, you have to play him.
exactly.
So now he's finding his way with this team. And I ain't gonna lie, I think this team personally will make it far just because they seem like a deep team now. In my opinion, I'm a really big fan of this current team, probably more than they most recent championship run in 22.
That's crazy.
Just by open how open the floor is as far as having Al be able to step in when they need to. They only and I like Al coming off the bench because you get to save him because of his older age from it.
True, yeah.
And they don't need to run that big lineup with him at the 5 constantly, unless you say you're going against a San Antonio. There's not a lot of teams like a San Antonio or Denver. Not a lot of teams that have a dominant big that Draymond personally cannot stop. So I like with this team. I like how they move fast, a lot of ball movement, and the lane's just open as it's ever been. That's the only reason why for me is I like this one better than the 22 team. Where they kind of going with that, and even what's his name? It's funny y'all ain't mentioned Derek White too. Derek White getting moved up a spot. Derek White kind of struggling a little bit because it's like he's used to being the third guy, getting the third best defender on him, and being able to make reads off of the gravity of Tatum, Brown. Him as your second guy don't really work like that.
That's facts.
He can create. Like a second best defender consistently, I don't see Derek White doing that night by night. So honestly, I think with this team, once Tatum comes back, we're gonna be able to see them kind of at 100%. Um, hopefully they make that move and throw in Anthony Simons as a starter. Me personally, I thought he was gonna be a starter going into the year just for his experience on the doing it over in Portland. I just hope that Anthony's consistent. That's my biggest thing with him is he's not that consistent. Where even in Portland, 20-point game here, 20-point game here.
Exactly.
5 points here. What are you doing? Like you supposed to be one of the better shooters in the league, but then at times, what are you doing? Yeah, the system was kind of messed up having him in school, who running this, who running that. But in Boston, I feel like if they allow him to play his game, he could definitely thrive over there.
Because like Al Horford said, he left because he was like they not winning no more. Like they wasn't about to win a championship, and a guy like Al, he 40, he trying to at least compete 1, 2 more times before it's time to really hang it up. Because like yeah, he older, he moves slower, but he can still contribute like he showed with that championship run, like he showed last year. He still has like the skill set and the mindset to give
He never
to
moved fast anyway. So
not even on the Hawks.
yeah,
Like,
he ain't even never
He
moved
just know
fast.
how to slide his feet.
Exactly. That's
The
back.
Warriors. I ain't gonna
Basketball
lie.
101, bro. That's all he do.
Nah, Warriors. I didn't think he was gonna work out that good. The Warriors, I'm a bigger fan of them than I was going into the offseason.
I personally want him to start. I don't know why they got Draymond starting sometimes, but like they said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Him having him on the court is definitely like helps out Draymond and Steph because Steph a shooter. Tatum, all he did was like shoot. So with Steph though, is more like he gotta Al Horford gotta facilitate now, and also with Jimmy Butler, so he gotta really find that like role and just pick like Draymond brain. But I like how it's working out so far.
and
It's looking good.
it's working good. And then like you got guys like Pods, he's doing pretty good too. Cause now he even said it. He's trying to get Steph to. He's trying to help Steph. He's not trying to he's not trying to take over anything. He's trying to help the team figure out what they need to do, and he's playing his role well. He play makes. I'll be seeing him like trying to go for a rebound every now and then. He tried to be fast on defense. He's not the best, but like he tries, and then he's not afraid to play off ball. Like you said, like what they got Draymond as another playmaker, as like really the main playmaker. You know, he can sit in that corner, wait for Draymond to see him. He can wait
Oh
for
yeah,
Jimmy to see him. Jimmy, he playing his role well, because at first when they first put this team together, I was like just like you said, like
I still
oh,
don't really believe it, but they
but
fun to watch.
they fun to watch and they play
You
better.
don't believe in that?
I don't believe in it.
You
No,
don't
I
Wow.
don't. I do not believe in it.
like they play better than what everybody expected. Because with
Yeah,
them being the older team, people expected like, all right, they're gonna break down pretty soon. But it's like it don't look like that. It's not looking like they're gonna break down sooner. Like they probably like they'll slow it down towards like after the All Star game. But right now they doing good, and I feel like if they keep up this pace, they'll be straight for at least like 6, 5,
yeah,
around there, and then you got another older team like the Clippers, and they're breaking down. And that's how a lot of teams expected the Warriors to play. But it's like when you got a guy like Steph who's been able to keep his body maintained,
yeah. I will say he is
and
healthy for his age, though. He is mad healthy for his age. So with Steph, anything's possible, but I don't believe in it. It's not going nowhere.
I think with this team, for me personally, the biggest X factor is just Kaminga and how
Mm.
he kind of fits in with this team because they're playing very good to start
he
off the
he
year.
Yes,
I
he
has
feel like
has.
he's finally cooking for him. Um, how do I best maximize my role in this team? How do I take advantage of the things that are going on? You see him more clicking with Steph as far as being able to screen set for him,
Yeah,
make reads off of with Draymond, and even meshing well with Jimmy. I like that because him, honestly, like earlier, that money talk. Now that
yeah,
he's
hmm
getting more, it's like, okay, Steve, you have to play him.
yeah.
exactly,
So now he's
exactly.
finding his way with his team. I ain't gonna lie, I think his team personally won't make a fire just because they seem like a deep team now. In my opinion, I'm I'm a really big fan of this current team, probably more than their most recent championship run at 22,
That's crazy.
just
I
by
wouldn't say that.
open how open the floor is as far as having Al be able to step in when they need to. They only and I like Al coming off the bench because you get to save him because of his older age from
That's
it,
true. Yeah, yeah.
and they don't need to run that big lineup with him at the 5 constantly, unless you say you're going against a San Antonio. There's not a lot of teams like San Antonio and Denver. Not a lot of teams that have a dominant big that Draymond personally cannot stop. So I
No,
like
that's true.
I like with this team. I like how they move fast. A lot of ball movement, and the lanes just open as it's ever been. That's the only reason why for me is I like this one better than the 22 team.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And then I think it's just like as they play so well, it's the chemistry. Cause
Oh
like I
yeah.
heard that Jimmy had a little get together at his house with the team, and he made it known like, listen, I'm trying to win, and if y'all trying to win, this is what we need to do. And so like they spent the whole like weekend I think at his house trying to team bond, trying to really like pick each other's brain. And I feel like Jonathan Kuminga, he probably definitely spent that day, that weekend, picking Jimmy's brain because like Jimmy, he knows his role well, and he's a good leader to the younger guys, like as he did
Nah, he
in
is.
as he did in Miami. And so Jonathan, he probably sat there was like, so what can I do, and what like since now that I got this money and I know I'm going to get played, what do you need me to do? What do Steph need me to do?
Facts.
And like if all y'all need me to do is score and play defense, word. What spots do I need? What when do I need the ball in my hands? Draymond, how do you need me? What spots do you need me to be at when you have the ball in your hands? You need an assist. What screens are you trying to set? Like what are the plays? And that's pretty good for them because now that you have guys that are ready to win, that have that championship mentality, all it is just consistency. Staying healthy, being consistent. And I think they have a pretty good consistent team.
I would say so with Jimmy. I've been a fan of Jimmy, but I will say this: with him, it's always like it starts off good, but then ends sour. So like with him, like he got traded out of Miami. We know what happened to Miami, but he got traded. They gave him the money in that signing trade or whatever. And now like they're winning, they're doing good, the chemistry's all up. But what happens if the All Star break come and they start losing again, or what happens when like Draymond gets hurt and Al get hurt, they out at the same time? What's gonna happen then? I'm not saying like he could definitely score. Like if people get hurt, like he's gonna show up. But if the team like generally just starts losing games, what's gonna happen then? Is he gonna like get mad again? Is he gonna ruin the team chemistry? So
I feel like you said, as far as say Al and Draymond getting hurt, I kind of like the depth of this team. They still got Trace Jackson Davis. He's the young center that's more on the athletic side that can still develop. I like the Steph and the Jimmy duo. As far as like a playmaking wise, they both can make those passes. They both can make those reads. Trace is a good lob threat. I like that.
yeah.
I like the fact that even if Jimmy needs to play bigger, needs to play at the four, he could do that. You still got Kaminga Femi, throw him in the starting lineup. You still got, like you said, you got B-Pod subbing in, you got Buddy Hield subbing in. They also got some point guard that was out last year that just recently came back. You could sub him in too. I like the depth of this team. That's why I think they're real. Personally, I think they're gonna probably be a playing team. I'm not playing. They're gonna be a playoff team, finishing that sixth spot.
Yeah,
probably just
we did say that too. They definitely could be that last six spot. Definitely a sleeper in the West for sure. I do want to say I've been a fan of Jimmy because as he got older, he's gotten better. So like what he did in Miami was something special for his age. Like he 35, 36, dropping 56 against the Bucks. That's crazy. So I do want to give shouts out to Jimmy.
And then speak of a team that's not running the best smoothly, Rockets. As we was just talking on them earlier,
Mm-hmm.
Rockets, I like they really need a point guard, and I feel like it with them not having a point guard, they don't. A lot of their players don't know what plays to make. Like Jabari Smith, it's like he has the ball in his hand. It's like what's next? It's like Katie, what do you need me to do? I'm in. What are you doing? It's like now, as you can kind of see, they're using Sengun as like their playmaker, but
Yeah.
there's gonna be times where it's like he not always gonna have the ball in his hand because he's gonna have to be worried about the best defensive center on him. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what is he gonna do when Wemby on him? What is he gonna do when when he has to worry about Jokic? It's like
Yeah.
not Jokic not the best defender, but like it's like
He's still
that's a
big,
that's
bro.
a
Like
bigger
he's
dude. That's a
big,
bigger
bro.
dude. It's like
Yeah.
Wemby, like it's like Shane, it's like the Rockets need to figure out what they're gonna do. It's like KD, you need to step up. It's like you came here because you said you like the team, you like what we was doing, and now that Fred is out, it's like what can you do without a point guard? It's like what do we need to figure out? It's like Reed Shepard, we need to have him not. We need to not have him
Reed
just chucking
Shepard,
up,
bro. Reed
chucking up
Shepard.
shots. It's like we trying to win. It's like why
Yeah.
are you?
Don't get me started on Reed Shepard, yo. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, I think, man.
Yo, they need to pack this up now.
Word.
Yo. At this point,
I thought they was gonna trade him in the offseason. I'm not gonna like when Fred went down. I thought he was gonna get packaged off immediately.
oh no, he got to get packaged up. I think at this point, if I'm them, I probably trade him and I trade Tari Eason, and I just, feel me, you go get something, cause my God, I ain't gonna lie, being a Thunder fan, watching that first game, I could feel the stress just leave my body every time that Reed Shepard touched the ball because I knew he gonna make the wrong read, he gonna force up shots, he gonna try to force passes. That's the reason why we won that game.
That game, when I watched that game, I was so confused, bro. Cause like y'all said, like there's no it's no guard out there, so I don't know what they was doing. And that all tall lineup does not work. KD at the two does not work, so I don't know what they was doing. I was so confused watching that. And then when Reed come in, just brick by brick, building a house, it's like I don't know, like what am I watching?
Yeah, and then it's like, unless Sengun had the ball in his hands at the top of the key, it was just a bunch of standing.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
it was like pass the ball 1-on-1. It's like, no, make a play. It's like we don't need to go 1-on-1 every time because teams are going to see that. Like the Thunder, Thunder's a good defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's going to happen when you go against another team like the Spurs? It's like y'all cooked because you're going up against teams who already are defensively like settled and know what they need to do. And with y'all not being settled on what y'all need to do offensively, y'all are going to struggle. It's going to force Kevin Durant to take more unnecessary shots or like play more, and he doesn't need to play more minutes. Like keep him at that 30 to 35 minutes. It's like because if you have him playing 40, 45, he's going to burn out. And as you saw in the as you saw in that Thunder game, double overtime, dude had one shot. Like, why are you taking one shot? That's the point where it's like, all right, give me the ball. This is what we need to do. Cause like KD, you know what to do in clutch moments. You know what to do in
Yeah.
overtime moments. These guys haven't been in that as much as you. It's like you need to tell them like this is what needs to happen. And when you just like I understand you trying to like, mold them, get them to be better, get them to, get used to these tough moments. Cause it's like you can't keep having these tough moments all season. Cause then if they're not learning from you, then what is the point of being on the Rockets?
Yeah, that's right.
When it comes to the Rockets, I feel like the only way that they can get better from this point, like the three ways, is one, either trade and get a point guard. Two, see increased shooting across the board because like the way how their team is set up, where there's not a lot of floor spacers. Sengun is trying his best to put up more threes. KD gonna be KD. Jabari be Jabari. We're kind of iffy at times, but not having a lot of 3 point shooters around, and especially having a man at your point guard, you're cooked because it's like even if he can attack the basket over and over again, they're just gonna pack the paint on him, so he's gonna force the kick out, and if he's not gonna make that shot, it kind of hurts it. Or if I mean, or I think the last reason too, or last thing they could do, they got to be more aggressive off ball. You got to have people diving in trying to cut after each other
Exactly.
and create those advantages because that's gonna be the only way this works if we can't really shoot like that.
This is why I say like their offense is a little like messed up now because last year what they did is they put Thompson at that four spot for at that dunker position and he thrived there. So it's like now him bringing the ball up, it's like he kind of don't know what to do. Like he's like out of not really out of position because he is like a guard forward type thing, but playing him at that small ball four or three even is really where he can thrive. So I don't know if it's management again need to get somebody or just Ime needs to retool the playbook or something.
Because the 3 and the 4 is completely different of being a point guard.
Yeah,
Like in my opinion, the point guard is probably the most stressful position.
nah, for
And to
sure.
put that on a second year, right? Is it second year? Third?
Yeah.
Third?
This is, yeah, I say this is year three.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's been
yeah,
time
3 years
flying by.
already.
But yeah, being that this is his third year and he's not played that position, it's like, what do you expect him to do? It's like you can't just immediately have him think, oh, word, I'm gonna just do this, I'm gonna just do that. It's like he's gonna struggle. It's
Exactly.
like that's why, it's like you said, trading for a point guard is key because if you don't trade for that point guard, nobody has nobody can learn. No one has a point guard to pick the brain off of. You see what KD can do without a point guard. Like he's been a great player, but it's like he don't win. We saw when Harden and Kyrie went down with Brooklyn. You did what you did with the Bucks is like it was like they had defense, they had a point guard,
Exactly.
they had that team to stop everybody, and it's like
No, that team was just bad defensively too. They was terrible defensively. I think worst defensive rating in the league at that time, which is why I think the Bucks won. I mean, ultimately it did come down to a shot, but it went to 7 because they don't have defense. So
I think the biggest thing I feel like with a man, like how you said, as far as him being a guard, he's just not. He's just more of a play finisher. He's not a creator.
Exactly.
So if I'm having him in that dunker spot, it works. Having him next to Van Vliet, it works because all he has to do, once you get the ball, put the ball in the basket. That's it.
Exactly.
I think that's easy for him to do. So seeing him struggle makes sense. Him not having a shot like that, I don't know why people thought he was gonna take leaps and bounds over all season. Not everybody gonna pull it in, and then now you the best 3 point shooter in the league. It takes time, and the way that this team is gonna struggle in the playoffs, especially with no point guard and no 3 point shooting, because all the teams are gonna do is pack the paint, or they just gonna try and throw the big on the man and just focus on everybody else.
Exactly. I feel like so they ran that double big in against OKC. I feel like to second that is when they see a man like driving to the paint, other teams are just gonna run double big on him too. So like you said, he's kick out to Jabari and he bricks a shot. That's just point. That's points given up. So it's like they just got like they need to do something and do something fast, bro. I can't stress it enough. So I don't know what they doing down there in Houston.
And then you brought up Ant Edwards. He looking good. He looking good. Definitely can see his improvement and how he improved his game with back to the basket, mid range shooting. Not afraid to go to the rack more. He's calmed down his game. He's not taking as many threes because he realized like yeah, 3-point shooting is good, especially when you can knock down the shot.
Yeah,
But it's like it's not going to get you a win because teams have better perimeter defenders like an OKC, like what's a good another perimeter defensive team?
They say even against the Warriors, it was like
yeah,
with the Warriors could have beat them last year if they were a healthy team. They just didn't have the offense, but on defense, they were able to hang for a little bit. I feel like with the Timberwolves, I think they just need that point guard. Because with Ant, he can basically do almost everything great, except for kind of pass like that and get the ball moving. He's slowly improving, and I feel like that's his weakest part of his game right now. But I feel like once that's all set up, this team will be kind of good to go. I feel like because of the way how their 3-point shooting, they need somebody that can shoot at that one. Because I feel like that's also their flaw. Because Ant was shooting so many threes last year. Because who else gonna take the threes except Julius Randle and Jaden McDaniels?
yeah. Julius Randle, him taking threes is not a pretty sight sometimes. When they flowing, but when they not, it's not a pretty sight.
Playoff game.
The
playoff game last year.
That is true.
Turning to Aaron Gordon. Everybody know how to shoot now. Aaron Gordon knocking down threes.
Everybody know how to shoot, bro. This is crazy work, bro.
There ain't no way Aaron Gordon knocked down
Bro, I still don't think it's real, bro. I ain't even watched the highlights because I don't even want to see it, bro.
Bro, I watched that game. Was like he really knocking that down. Like
not
that.
easy. It's like there's a few that were like it's open. There's a few.
Okay, when I saw that, I thought it was like, damn, they gave him 10 open threes.
Nah, bro, people were in his face. Like after like 2 or 3 threes he made, they was like, all right, let's let's lock in on him more. Still making it. I'm like, where did this come from?
I think that's just a natural Hooper thing. Like if you hitting, bro. Like I feel like I feel like though also he also getting older too, so he like, damn, I need to preserve my knees to at least last me 3 more years, 2 more years. So I mean, good for him if that's what he worked on in the off season, but 10?
And then
he
honestly, I think what really motivated him to work on his three and improve it was Jokic. Like y'all saw last year in the playoffs, that Jokic was frustrated. Every time nobody wasn't scoring, they was making the dumbest plays. He's sitting there at the bench cussing everybody out. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is not what we was doing last year.
It was
like,
also
what happened?
Too,
like,
what I would say, me personally, at least I feel like this series you've seen it a lot was 2 years ago when they lost to Minnesota and they're getting away with that. I feel like that's what made Aaron Gordon work his shot more than anything. Was like, oh, they put Rudy Gobert on me.
Yeah, exactly.
They playing Rudy Gobert on me and just launching for the lob. Oh no, we can't go out like this.
You gotta space it out, and then next thing you know, Rudy Gobert's at 3-point line, drive back door, bro, because he can't really move his feet, bro. I don't know how he get all that money in 3 DPOs, bro. It's crazy. Oh my god, bro, that shit is crazy. Rudy Gobert, bro.
And then I think what helps is Cam Johnson. He not performing as well as we thought he was gonna perform, but
you gotta let him heat
but
up.
we gotta let him heat up. And then like them getting rid of MPJ, Aaron Gordon probably was like, you know what? Now I can finally get the ball.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too, bro. Because Michael Porter, bro, he believe it or not, like him shooting. I'd rather have him shooting threes than Aaron Gordon. So like having him on the team, I felt he was taking majority of the threes besides Jokic. So now that he's not there, I think Eric Gordon was like, you know what, this offseason, I'm gonna get up some threes, bro. I'm gonna work on that shit. Somebody gonna need to take them now.
And then with them bringing back Bruce Brown, like that brings more, like that brings up the morale of the team. Jokic doesn't have to force up shots anymore. He can finally play make. He can finally find the guys that are gonna be open because teams are gonna double him, as we know, because he's a bigger dude
Yeah.
and not really many centers can guard him. So it's like when he's at that low post or mid post, like he's gonna have he has spacing now. Like he can either like teams are either gonna collapse on him, or if they don't collapse, he's just gonna
Yeah,
turn around, hook,
yeah, maybe Hook.
turn around, fade. He's gonna hit that.
Yeah, he's gonna
And and we know that Jokic, with them losing DeAndre Jordan, he's gonna up his rebounding now, and now he's gonna play more low post when it comes to like anybody else handling the ball like Jamal Murray, like and now that even that helps because with Jamal Murray, he got injured last year, wasn't, and then when he did come back, he like wasn't performing the best, and
do.
now it's like with you having more shooters, it opens up that mid range for him because as we saw in that championship run, that mid range is his game. Like
Yeah.
he's not the best from three. And like when it hit, but like he's not the best from three. And now that they've opened up the floor for both him and Jokic to really flow and that pick and roll offense to really like thrive now, the Nuggets are looking better than last year, of course, and they're looking like they could go for another championship. Like
Oh no, they're always ready for a championship. They're always ready for it. As long as you have Jokic, you're gonna be ready for a championship run.
Like with when it comes to Denver this year and that Cam Johnson trade, I think the most thing I was excited for, just as far as having somebody like Michael Porter Jr.'s biggest thing is I feel like his decision making in the moment, where it's like if I ain't gonna shoot, I'm gonna only pass it if I gotta pass it. I can shoot over a majority of the league, so I'm gonna take that shot. Who shoot better than me? This and that. And I understand and I respect the mindset when it comes to that. Because for me, you a top level NBA player, you gotta have that type of mindset. But in the times where it's too forced, I feel like that's what slowed down their team. And I feel like that's gonna be the difference. Like the biggest adjustment is like, okay, we all have more shots now. Everybody, like Cam Johnson, he's gonna be more passive than Michael Porter Jr. We all gonna get those looks. So I like the way how their team is kind of set up now. Hopefully his numbers go up because he should be averaging close to what Michael Porter Jr. is averaging,
No,
just on better efficiency.
definitely, definitely. And then I gotta talk about him, yo. I was
listen,
avoiding
man.
most of the video, but gotta talk about him. The Thunder,
The
the Thunder.
Thunder, bro.
Love them, man. I'm loving the way we playing, even without J Dub. We like I said in our last video, or no, our two videos ago. I knew he was going to struggle. That's why I was like, I give us 10 to 15 games to really get the ball rolling.
Yeah, y'all
But
did look rusty.
looking like J Dub gonna be out a little longer than expected. The struggles is gonna be more obvious with us offensively because we had other Jalen Williams taking threes and he took like what 4 threes I believe in the game against I think it was the game against the Rockets. And he missed all of them. And it's like, all right, bro, that's not your game, bro. Get
Yeah,
down in that low post, set a
yeah,
screen, roll to the basket or something. And then like with us not having our second offensive leader, that forces Chet to do, to take
yeah.
more shots to really find like really get comfortable now. And he's starting to get a little more comfortable. We saw in that first game, we saw in the second game, and like he's definitely trying to play more like mid range, back to the basket. If his 3 point shot is there, it's there, and we love that. And he's getting more boards. He's gonna step up defensively like he needs to. He's making up for what J Dub does, and then when his shot isn't hitting, we have AJ Mitchell off the bench,
Mm,
and it's looking good. Like in my opinion, I think AJ Mitchell can be 6 man of the year because he's not he plays similar. Like I think the announcer said it the other day. Like he plays similar, not similar to Shea, but like he takes similar shots. Like he's not afraid to take up that mini pull. He's going to the rack, and then his playmaking is pretty good. Like he had 7 assists, I believe, I think it was last night or the other night,
Yeah.
and he knows how to get his guys the ball. You know, we have Lou Dort, we have Aaron Wiggins, you know, we have Young Blood who surprisingly been playing a little more, and
Good blood.
His dude
Young
name
Blood,
is Youngblood, bro.
and it's looking good because like our bench, they're not they're playing like they're playing smooth. They're playing like they're not uncomfortable to take shots that they know they can make. We know it's like mid ranges are probably going to be this team's like biggest focus this year instead of taking threes, and we got the pieces to that can knock down the mid range. Not afraid to go to the rack, and with guys like Alex Caruso, we expected to struggle offensively. He's still not afraid to, all right, give me the ball. I'm about to play make. I'm about to, I'm about to have this dude go here. Oh, boom, the back door open. Let me take that. And then Jay Williams, he's getting better. He's getting better defensively. He's not afraid to guard the best center or the second best center. Like
Mm.
he lost weight over the offseason. They say he lost like 25 pounds. I don't see it, but they say he lost 25 pounds.
Good for
And
him,
he
man.
gained muscle. So it's like, all right, boom. Now that you're stronger and healthier, show us what you can do defensively. Like how can we not have you on that perimeter? How can we have you more on the low post, getting ready to block a shot at the rim?
I think I like how you kind of went through everybody because honestly, I feel like that's gonna be an X factor of this team is outside of SGA. What can the rest of y'all do? I feel like teams are trying to make a statement. We will give SGA the most attention. We will try to let the rest of y'all win this game. We're gonna try to throw double teams at him. We're gonna force him to give up the ball. We're gonna try to put the ball in everybody else's hands. Can y'all operate and can y'all follow through with that? And even with other Jalen Williams, I feel like his biggest thing was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, in that Rockets game, what hurt my soul is when we subbed him in, and then he playing so high up, trying to guard Steven Adams or Sengun, where there was literally somebody slipped right behind him, he ain't even see him. So it's like, defensively, I hope that he kind of steps up and, like you said, as far as dropping that weight, that it makes the difference. But the defensive IQ got to be there if he wants to start in the game, or not even start, but just get more playing time. Because in the games where he played last season, where he got to start because Chet or somebody else was out, you balling.
Mm-hmm.
It's just your defense that make it iffy for us to even keep you out there.
Hey, man, I don't really got much to say on them. I mean, watching them, they was like rusty. Like it did look off offensively, but knowing Shea, knowing the team, they gonna get it together. Everybody's still the same, except whoever got drafted. So I just want to watch them. And now after like they still looking rusty after like 15 games, like you said, or near the All Star break, then it's gonna be a problem. But I don't think that's gonna happen. So
It just really depends on how many games J Dub is out, in my opinion. Because
yeah,
like,
I didn't even know
it's,
he was injured. I'm not gonna lie.
remember he got the surgery on his wrist over
Oh
the
yeah,
summer,
yeah, yeah.
over the
Okay,
off
okay,
season.
okay.
So like,
Yeah,
I
I forgot
thought
about that.
like I'm not surprised they didn't play him in the first game, but I thought like maybe no, I think it was our third game we played the Hawks. I was like, all right, maybe he not might play, but since he didn't play against the Hawks, it's like, all right, maybe the surgery was more crucial than we thought, more serious. So it's like, all right, boom. Now it's like now that we know he's going to be out longer than expected, what can the like you said, what can the other guys do off the bench? Jalen Williams, can you get better defensively? Usman Zhang, he's been getting better defensively. He guard the perimeter. Like even though he's like a smaller center, he can still like move his feet, guard the perimeter a little. But if we need that, because he got long arms, if we need that extra, man down there, he can back up Jalen Williams. He can back up Chet. He can back up Art Hartenstein. And it's like now that we're giving our younger guys and our key and our like bench players more time to get used to having the ball in their hands, having more time to figure out what they can do on the team. It's like all we got to do with Jalen when he gets back is like all you got to do is just calm down, take your shots, do what you do, but at the same time remember everybody's gotten better, so you don't gotta force nothing. Like he was, like you said, look, like in the playoffs, he took good amount of bad shots, but they was going in. But it's like that's not always gonna go in, gang. It's like now you need to learn on how you can play make from the three position. Sometimes he'll play four, sometimes he'll play the five. It's like if you can learn how to play make and use these key pieces we have off the bench, it's like you scoring wise, we like we're not expecting you to do nothing crazy now. It's like figure out like try to like better your mind and look at it from a like how can I get this dude better? How can I get him his shot that he needs that I know he can hit, you know?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. This is, I was just thinking about this right now. Honestly, this might be a hot take. Genuinely, I don't think that shit gonna finish top three when it comes to MVP. That's just genuine. I don't think he's gonna do it. I think the top three for me right now is kind of locked in with Wemby, Jokic, and Giannis. And I ain't gonna lie, what Giannis is doing right now out in Milwaukee is actually insane. And genuine to me, I think right now, in my opinion, I like how he's playing more than Jokic only because, like, all right, he averaging 30. He's the best man defensively on the court. He's the best rebounder on his team, and he's constantly going at some of the best bigs in the game night after night, averaging the same thing and just looking like nobody could stop him. And it's just, I ain't gonna lie, he's my favorite right now for MVP if it ain't Wemby, because Wemby doing the same thing as far as being the best guy defensively and just looking like nobody can stop him on offense. And I think it's for them, they is my top two for MVP easily.
I'll say this to the effect of like MVP and individual awards. I'll say Joker and Shea are kind of done getting MVP, but I feel like for Shea, he has a chance to get in that Defensive Player of the Year talks. He has a chance to get other accolades now. He has a chip now in MVP. So and like you said, I like Giannis's chances because Joker like he still got to warm up to the new team, new additions again. So it's definitely Giannis Wemby right now. Whoever I don't really have a third for them
And
for
then
MVP at least.
And then speaking of Giannis, his playmaking, like they got rid of Chris, so he was like, "What am I about to do and get these dudes these shots?" Because you get rid of the dude who was playmaking for them a little with Chris, and it's like Andrew second best scorer at the time, and it's like, boom, now how could I make up for his scoring? Who can hit what shots, where at what times, and where can they be? And as you see these first few games, he's been doing that. He's been getting Miles Turner the ball, and it's like then it's like he's been getting the other guys the ball. It's like, all right, boom. Now that I'm getting these guys the ball, we need to win because they what 1-3, 1-2, and it's like Giannis is a great player, and now it's like his pieces need to step up because he wants to win, and it's like if y'all not winning and he putting up these great stats, he's gonna be all right, boom, trade me. Like,
I think the time has come.
like
I'm not gonna lie. His time has come in Milwaukee. I like to see loyal guys first, so I'm glad that he's still thugging it out. But sometime, the championship he got in Milwaukee is gonna be super cherished. So if he goes somewhere, don't go and like team up and make a super team of nine. Just go to a team where you think you can win, and he'll be straight. Um, but yeah, his time in Milwaukee might be up with him. If they do trade him, I do like Milwaukee's chances of like building another like young core, young team, young fun team because they do have a lot of guys that have something to prove. It's just that Giannis and Turner are there, so it's like they're really the two main guys right now. If so, they trade Giannis, then I feel like we'll see a lot of guys step up.
I think me personally, I didn't like the Miles Turner move only because like I like them on the same team and playing together. I just don't like the fact that you extended Dame's contract out for as long as they did. Now they're just paying 20 mil a year simply to pay him back.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
stupid.
you was better off just waiting the year and then filming and going from there, or even just moving Giannis in general because you got no draft picks. Because for me, you moved all them and traded kind of put this team together. You have no draft picks. You have no money. What are you about to do with this team? If there are no moves you can make, and your starting point guard is Kevin Porter Jr., and then it's day two is like AJ Green. What you about to do with this?
You know what I'm gonna say? Giannis in New York. Giannis in New York, bro. It's happening. You heard it here first.
This
You
dude.
heard it here
I
first,
think
bro.
Giannis goes to the West before he goes to
Nah, West too hard. Like it's too congested in the West. So like him being in New York in the East, bro, that's like
New York. They want
that.
picks. Giannis
That's
don't want
going.
picks.
Listen,
I
we
don't
gonna
want
have
no
to
picks.
reason with him, bro.
Unless
Take
I
Cat.
I feel like the only way this works, if he was to go to New York, you have to include a third team in there
yeah,
because
That's true.
if because like the way it is, basically Oklahoma got all the picks in the league right now.
Yeah, they.
But it's like the teams who do have picks, it's like all right, boom, we need to include them. So Milwaukee get picks, they get Giannis, and then like you said, you want Cat to
I
probably
listen.
possibly get bounced for Giannis. So it's
He
like,
listen.
all right, Cat need to go to a team where we know he's going to thrive as well. And there's not a lot of teams where I feel like he can go and thrive right now. And it's like what teams that have the picks can that we want to be interested in that in him and giving up picks for him. And that's gonna be a hard
Listen, man.
find.
I feel like it could work, man. There's a reason why we have a front office, even though they haven't made the best decisions in the past. I feel like it can work, man. If especially if say Milwaukee's getting back, like say we trade Cat and Bridges or something like that. They're still like the Milwaukee's still getting Bridges or Cat. So it's still stuff you could build on because like obviously they're not bad players. I like Cat on the team right now, but if it come down to it, everybody I'll take a 32-year-old Giannis or 30-year-old Giannis over this dude any day. And I feel like most New Yorkers will say the same. So
yeah.
it's just business is business.
I feel like the hardest thing with Giannis is that he's not really he's not a screen setter. So yeah, I like him to be in New York.
Yeah,
I don't think he would thrive in New York like how Cats thrive, and only because the Cats are better screen setters, so he can do pick and rolls with Brunson, even though it's more ISO ball. Like I think what I like the most from the Knicks, I like Mike Brown's new approach. I like how he's trying to speed that team up. He's trying to use their strengths. Cat's one of the faster bigs in the league. I like how he's using that rather than the way how Tibbs was running it. What I liked from Tibbs was the defensive setup that he kind of had for them. I love that. Um, so I think with this team, it's just a matter more of coaching, more than trying to bring somebody new. I think if you bring somebody new in, now you got to figure out what things are gonna work and what's not gonna work. Like I don't think you could have Giannis, Josh Hart on the same on the floor at the same time if you throw somebody else that can't shoot. Now it's like you don't do Giannis, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson.
that's true. But I'll say this. One, we talking about Giannis. Like this is a generational player, so I feel like he could thrive anywhere. After just give him three games, he could thrive. But to the non-shooting fact, I do like how Mike Brown he hasn't been starting Josh Hart recently, so we've been running like a double big. It's another second year 6'10" dude. I can't pronounce his name, but Josh Hart has been coming off the bench most recently. So to that effect, trading like for Giannis, I don't know. I still like it, but we won't have shooting, so then it will be. But our defense will be better though if we do trade. Because Cat, he talk about moving your feet, he can't move his feet, and we seen it in the playoffs. So.
But honestly, the way it's looking in the East, like New York, it should be y'all. It should be y'all conference, but you do have teams like
New York.
It's New
I know
York's conference. I
I
stand on
think,
it.
but if it's not them, you do have other Eastern teams like Cleveland,
Cleveland is fraudulent.
Cleveland.
Cleveland is
I
fraudulent.
do think Cleveland is gonna do better this year. It's just what Garland out. Donovan Mitchell has had to handle the ball more, and that
Listen,
forced his scoring, which we know Donovan Mitchell he can go get a bucket. It's just with Lonzo, we not he just not really playing basketball for the first time in what 2 3
two,
years,
3 years.
and it's like it's gonna take him a little minute to get adjusted to playmaking for a team like them, and we know Lonzo could play make it play defense, and his 3-point shot's gotten a little better ever since he got drafted, but it's like Garland kind of brought that second scoring that
He did.
Donovan really does need. And with Cleveland, if Cleveland can stay consistent and good until Garland does get back, if he's back by the end of the season, and I think they could, give the Knicks some problems.
I'll
But
say this: I do want the conference finals to be like Cleveland and New York. So I do like. I don't want to run into Cleveland like in the second round or the first round, which first round probably won't happen, but it's most likely second round. But in the conference finals, I still think we got him because Cleveland, we saw what happened last year. And now Mike Brown, he runs a faster pace. So that's exactly what Indiana did last year. So to them. So Cleveland to me is low key fraudulent. Donovan Mitchell wants kind of want out in like next year too. So
I don't
I
know.
don't
Then
know.
I'm gonna move on from Garland. I think
Yeah,
having
definitely move on from Garland.
I think having Lonzo as your starting point guard, even your backup, and kind of moving moving on from Garland to get another scoring punch that can defend. I think having Garland as your starting point guard, you kind of leave that back door open, and it's like, okay, there's always an easy out because they're just gonna go at him every time. That's what each series kind of plays out to being at the end of the day. And his health being inconsistent, yeah, you can't really help that. But having his health being inconsistent and then lean more on Mitchell and just hoping that he can carry it.
Yeah,
That's too much of a struggle.
yeah. I don't know. I'm still a New York team, but I ain't on this. New York is definitely our year this year, at least to run through the East.
I think I'll lose to Orlando.
That's
I'm not gonna
crazy.
lie, Orlando.
That's
I'll lose to
crazy.
Orlando
I
is
like
looking
Orlando.
nice.
I
Orlando
like
is looking
Orlando, but
nice.
nah, I don't. I think we have a more experienced coach. Jalen Brunson been around the way a couple times. Josh Hart. I feel like we beat them strictly on like grit and grind because Orlando they nice, but you know.
Orlando, my finals pick.
That's all right. We got ended there. We got ended
Orlando, my
there.
finals pick for the East.
This is
That's
get it out the
that's
mud.
locker. Just get out the. Nah, this locker room logic, man. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit us up. Let us know what you want to talk about. Um,
Appreciate you again,
yeah,
Jordan, for coming
my
on,
guy
bro.
Jordan, man.
Appreciate
We
y'all
got
for having me, man.
yeah, no
We
problem.
calling it now. Next night, making passes.
All right, we ended that shit.